Evening, everybody. Boy, what a night. What a night. What a night. Look, in the end, it wasn't a great fight, was it? I've watched the fight back a couple of times. It wasn't like what I expected, but just the whole build up, everything, like the whole thing. The arena was packed. Um, Khan's walk. You know what? Amir Khan looked a bit nervous on the walkout. He looked a bit nervous. The first time when I was watching it, I wasn't too sure, but then I've watched it back, and he's got Bomac next to him. He's got his team. He's got Terence Crawford, and then they leave him, and he walks by himself, and he goes past the ambulance, and he definitely looks a bit apprehensive. Kell Brook's walkout, good. Like, there's something about that song that just really gets me excited. I thought it was fantastic, and in the end, I think Kell was just far too good. Like, he had so much more left in the tank than Khan did. Khan was clearly talking a great game, right? I mean, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and in the end, just couldn't do it. Just couldn't do it. As soon as Kell landed, one. Like, the first time Kell landed, that was it. Like, the legs started to move a bit funny, and that was it. Kell was like, you know what, I got you. I got you. And he got him. All right. Let's say hello to everyone, as we always do. Guys, you know how it works. I will read out the super chats as they come in. I think it's fair to do that. But I always will read as many comments as possible. You know that. Rooney, AMUFC says, yo, brother. Yo. Dan Brown says, hi, Ade. I only think Kell should fight either Ben at 150 pounds or Eubank at 155 pounds while being the A-side fighter. Wouldn't mind seeing him go against Charlo or Castano too. Yeah, I don't want to see the Charlo or Castano fight, because I think that would be painful. I think it would get destroyed by both, if I'm honest with you. Eubank at 155 is interesting, because obviously Kell has just tweeted, I say just about 2 hours ago, that he would fight Eubank at 155 pounds. You look at Eubank, I don't see where, you'd have to chop his leg off to make 155 pounds. He's ripped to shreds at 160, but you never know. They might come to some sort of agreement at 157, 158. So look, it could happen. I've literally just filmed a video about Eubank and Conor Benn that I'm going to put up tomorrow, talking about just that. So yeah, look, there are options. There are options indeed. All right, a couple of super chats have come in. Let's quickly read them. Andrew, super chat. Thank you very much, Andrew. Says, hi, Ade. Have you heard Eddie has apparently offered Dillian a deal to avoid the Fury fight, reported by The Sun a couple of hours ago? The Sun. See, if you said the Telegraph or the Guardian or even the Mirror, I'd be like, The Sun. Nah, I haven't heard that, by the way, either. And then there's a few people that you'll normally go to, and I'm not quite sure if I believe that. But look, again, that could be true. I see a few other people commenting on it as well, so we'll get to that 100%, because obviously a lot of people believe that is true. G-Man Boxing, it says, salute to Ade, salute to G-Man. G-Man, what happened to your live yesterday, brother? G-Man was on a live yesterday, and for some reason, he stopped his live and then started again. What happened? Come on, stop it. Get professional. What happened? I actually really want to know. CRB, nothing to do, obviously, says, are you shooting Fury White documentary? Not happening. Brother, this isn't the same. This isn't like Fury AJ, where I'm fully invested. Fury White, if it happens, it happens. If it happens, it happens. I really don't. Well, I do care, actually. That's a lie. I do care. But I'm not invested as I was with AJ. Trust me. Super chat here from Will. Really appreciate it again. Thank you very much. As Ade, as an avid Khan fan, Will is a big Khan fan. I follow him on Twitter. I'm absolutely gutted for Khan, but how good was Brook? He rolled back the years. Yeah, Brook just looked spiteful. He looked really good physically, looked strong. Khan's hands were fast for the first round, but then after that, Brook was like, you know what it is? I think Brook felt his punches and was like, is that it? It was reminiscent of when Brook fought GGG, and Brook was landing, everyone was getting excited, and GGG was like, is that all you've got? That's what it felt like. It really did. Karma Serene says, good evening, babe. Oh, I get a babe, do I now? Good evening, Karma. All right, what else we got? True Legend 86. So excited for work in the morning. It is one of those where if you support someone, the idea of going to work and seeing the person that supported the other, it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. Christopher Klaus says, good evening, Ade. Good evening, my man. Fahazan Ria says, Ade, how are you? Great turnout last night in the live. Yeah, great turnout in the live. At one stage, I think there was 3,000 people in there, which was really, really good. My thoughts on Khan. If it wasn't for Bomac, Khan would have gone down 100%. Bomac's training and conditioning work helped him survive that long. I don't know. Khan has it in him to stay up. Like, you think of the Maidana fight where he was getting literally poleaxed around the ring. He just stood up. He just stood up. Like Kell landed some big shots, but not, like, there's only about 3 or 4 which I thought were really clean. The rest were kind of on gloves, and Khan was riding them. So there wasn't that one big bang that Kell landed. But yeah, credit to Khan. I actually thought Bomac was going to call it at the end of round 5. I thought Bomac was going to say enough's enough, but credit to Khan to come out in round 6. Yeah, but there was nothing there. Honestly, nothing there whatsoever. True Legend says, do you think Khan would have been a completely different beast if Bomac had got hold of him a few years back? No, I think Khan had a fantastic career with Virgil. Look at the trainers he was with. No disrespect to Bomac, but is Bomac as good as Freddie Roach was back in the day? Is Bomac as good as Virgil Hunter was back in the day? I don't know. So it's not like Khan's not had elite world level Hall of Fame like trainers. So I don't think Bomac would have done a better job than Freddie Roach or Virgil Hunter. I just think I don't know, just it is what it is. It is what it is with Khan. It's an amazing career. It's just gone on a bit too long. And I think the worst thing for Khan, it's not necessarily that he's gone on too long. It's been that he's been inactive for the last 30, 31 months. If there was a few fights in between it, even if it was C or D level fights, at least you're active. I mean, to literally come off the shelf after nearly 3 years and try and get in the ring and put up a performance. Nah. I also, and again, I said this in the video I've just done, I don't believe the camp was as wonderful as they all made it out to believe. Like, after watching Khan in with Brook yesterday, there's no way for me that Khan wasn't getting pieced up in training by some of the killers in that camp. I honestly think they're just all playing it down a bit. I think Khan was getting beaten up in training. I really do. I think sparring was difficult. Look, they're not going to say it, and we're never going to know. But there's no way watching that performance for me that Khan was enjoying sparring in Bomac's camp. I really don't. And I think it might come out. I think Terence Crawford behind the scenes might say it as well, like, geez, we just had to take the fight. There's a lot of money on the table, but Khan really wasn't ready for this because it didn't seem to. Punch Perfect Boxing. Salute, bro. Had a smile on my face all day for Kell, buzzing for him. Yeah, I'm shout out to Punch Perfect Boxing as well. Fantastic channel, really is. Growing as well, like really getting the subscribers, does watch alongs, does a lot of lives, did a live immediately after the fight yesterday. If you haven't seen it, go and see it. A very good breakdown of the fight. Yeah, look, for me, I'm a big Brook fan. So for me, it was really good. And I did say that I think Brook wouldn't have been able to handle this loss. Like, if it was Brook getting beat like that, then you really got to have good people around him, because I don't think he would have been able to handle it. I think Khan knows where he is. Khan knows where he is in his career. He's not silly. I think Khan can handle it a lot better, just because Khan's had the better career. So I think Khan will look at it and think, you know what, you beat me, but look at my career. And he'll always do that, wouldn't he? Mick, what's this one? Says, Eve Nade, just watching the TalkSport on YouTube with you today. Yeah, I've just come back. I've just come back from TalkSport. I was on TalkSport for 4 hours today. But I was looking forward to this. I can't lie to you. Joe McKeown says, after all the back and forth over the years between who's ducking and so on, it's just nice to see these two fighters get in the ring and put it all on the line. Yeah, it's nice to see them get in the ring, put it all on the line, and it's nice to see them both to kind of walk away from that healthy. It really is. I mean, Khan, yes, he took a bit of a beating, but he's okay. Kell doesn't even look like he was in a fight, if I'm honest with you. But it is nice. It's always nice to see. And this is, I guess, the beauty and the beast about boxing. The beast is the build-up where you have to be arrogant and sell a fight and say nasty things. And the beauty is in the fact that you're going to get in the ring and have a fight. And then after, fingers crossed, you can shake each other's hands and say, you know what? Yeah, we made some money. It's all good. Frankie Patek says, Eve Nade, my guy, are you related to Patek? If you are, can you send me a Patek? Soldier Boy Health and Fitness Channel says, Adi, great commentary last night. Thank you. Obviously, look, not a commentator, but I just enjoy it. I enjoyed that. It was fun last night, wasn't it? It was fun. A couple of people saying good evening. Mark McCoy says good evening. Amandeep Jahal. Major K. Dot says good evening as well. Anthony Vander says, huge big up, Ade. This time last week, you were at Super Bowl. Crazy. Time flies. literally time waits for no one. I was just thinking about that as well. Like this time last week, I was at the Super Bowl. How quick is a week gone? Absolute madness. How quick's a week gone? Part two of me and Rory's trip to the Super Bowl is actually going to be in the video I'm releasing tomorrow, but it's already on 888 Sports NFL channel. Go and check it out if you haven't already seen it. Charlie Carpenter's Brooke Eubank at Bramall Lane in the summer sells the place out, will be a huge fight. Yeah. Let's talk about that for a second. I do think that, look, I want Brooke to retire. I think going out on top like that's a good thing. We saw Carl Froch do it when he beat George Groves. He's nemesis. And sometimes there's no better way to go out. But there will be a lot of money on the table for a Kell Brook, Chris Eubank Jr. showdown. Both of them are with Boxer. If you're Chris Eubank Jr., you kind of look at the risk reward, and there is no risk in fighting Kell Brook. Like Chris Eubank Jr. is favorite to beat Kell Brook. It's a guy coming up for 149 pounds to fight you at 160. Chris Eubank Jr. is fought at 168, so he's going to be a lot bigger than Kell. They're going to pay him a lot of money. I don't think there's anyone Chris Eubank Jr. can fight right now in the UK or anywhere in the world at 160 that will bring him as much money as a Kell Brook fight at Bramall Lane, as you say, Charlie. Be on Sky pay-per-view. Like, Charlo's not going to do it. Demetrius Andrade's not going to do it. Morata's not going to do it. I don't even think Golovkin over here will do it. I really don't. I think Kell Brook will bring him the biggest check. So as much as I had a dig at him on Twitter, Chris Eubank Jr., I can understand why he's thinking, fuck it. You want to pay me to fight Kell and you're going to pay me some millions? I'll do it. And I can understand why Kell would do it. Kell's not had that many big money fights. As much as a lot of people are saying he's made a lot of money in his career, not that much. I mean, you think of the big fights he's had. Sean Porter, he was a mandatory, so he's not going to get that much. He's going to get, he's going to get lowballed in the split, understandably so. Golovkin, yeah. Spence, yeah. And Amir Khan. That's really it. The others, the Matthew Hattons and the Shevchenkos of the world. Sorry, not Shevchenko. What's his name again? I can't remember his name. You know what I'm talking about. That's not going to bring big money, is it? What's his name? I can't remember. You guys know what I'm talking about anyway. What's this one? Mark Barsley says, hey, Ade, listen to G-Man earlier. He said he was in London next week. We'll be good to see him in the studio. G-Man is going to be in the studio next week. I've got a message G-Man to sort this out. I'm just super busy, but we are going to definitely sort it out. G-Man will be over there next week, and we'll have a good old chinwag. Might as well. If he's in London, it'd be rude not to. Just got to get it sorted out. Anthony Vander says, Brooks surely should retire. He got the calm fight, called it a day on top. Yeah, it's kind of rare when boxers do that. You think of boxers in the past. Calzaghe's done it. Andre Ward has done it. Lennox Lewis has done it. Carl Froch, obviously. It's very rare, though. You don't get it. You don't really get it. It's not that much. KK The Adventure says, thanks, Ade. Great unbiased commentary from you. Yeah, I thought I was a bit Kell Brook heavy, but it's difficult not to be because I'm a Kell Brook fan. But I did try and give Khan his respect as well because, I mean, Khan's given me so many great nights of watching him fight in America, some of the big fights over here. He deserves his respect. Boxing Pound for Pound Jack says, article in Sun Sport today, an hour back, Eddie Hearn has offered Dillian to stay with DAZN UK and is guaranteed a fight with AJ and Derek Chisora and will sway Fury. Or swerve Fury. I need to read that because that would, I mean, I'm sorry, as much as I work for DAZN, that would be a silly move from Dillian White. I mean, if you get the chance to fight for a world title and it's against Tyson Fury, who is the heavyweight king right now, you take that chance. I have no idea what's going on with Dillian White because Dillian White's not speaking. This is as quiet as Dillian White's been for the last 10 years. Like, he needs to speak and say something because that don't make sense at all. It really doesn't. Rowan Perry, evening Ade, just watching the replay on Sky now. Yes, Sky are showing the replay as we speak. Mark McCoy says, Brook was just too much for Khan. Yeah, too much in every department. But more importantly, too much physically. Like, again, there's a lot of talk about a rehydration clause. You know what I really hated, by the way? That Brook had to take his gloves off in the ring, to change gloves on the ring. That really pissed me off. I've never seen that before. I've seen that behind closed doors, behind the scenes, where someone has to switch gloves, and even that's annoying. In the ring, taking a piss. And did you see Brook's interview of Sky Sports after? I don't know if you guys saw this, but the General Secretary of the British Boxing Board of Control was in the ring as well. And Brooke said in the interview after, they came into the ring and said, if you do not change the gloves, you're not getting paid. Talk about trying to fuck with someone psychologically. If you do not change your gloves, you're not getting paid. Man, that's a joke. It's a joke. Joe Barrow says, so pleased, Kell won. Respect to Khan for all he's done with British boxing. Great commentary yesterday, Ade. Kell told us he'd win. Yeah, good couple of good points in there. Respect to Khan. I'm happy Kell won, but respect to Amir Khan as well for an absolutely amazing career. He hasn't officially announced his retirement, but surely that's it for Amir Khan. I mean, look, again, even Amir Khan, there'll always be money, especially in like the Middle Eastern region, Saudi Arabia, Dubai, whatever, for Khan to fight there. And maybe even there might be some sort of sway for him to go to Pakistan and fight. But what, you've been doing it since you were 17. You're now 35. Now, Khan, on the other hand, has made a lot of money. Kell, maybe not so. Khan's rich. Like, surely he's not short of a few quid. So, yeah, I don't know. Lee the Bald Guy, it says, big love from Watford, home of former champ, big on the scales. Shannon Courtney, keep up the great work, Addy. Lee the Bald Guy, by the way, is the biggest fan or the biggest the biggest person I know on Twitter that pushes female boxing. He really does. He really does. Young Revival says, yes, bro, great commentary last night. Cheers for the live. Fight lived up to the hype in the end as well. One-sided but exciting. Yeah, that's kind of what it was. It was a one-sided beatdown, but it still felt exciting. You still felt like, oh, anything could happen here. There is a part of me that when watching it again was like, oh, did the ref stop it a tad bit too early? But again, you look at the reaction from Amir Khan, he wasn't disappointed at all, was he? Like he didn't say one thing to the ref. He was almost like, thank you for stopping it. Charlie Carpenter says, must be a tough decision for Kell whether to retire or not. Brooke Eubank at Bramall Lane in the summer would be a huge fight. Would be a lot of money to walk away from. Yeah, a lot of money, by the way. You're talking potentially 3 to 4 million, maybe even more. I don't think Brooke versus Eubank would do the kind of numbers that I think Brooke Khan did. I'm convinced, and we don't know the numbers yet. We ain't going to know until midweek. I'm convinced Brooke Khan did around 600,000 to 700,000 pay-per-view buys. I can tell when a fight's really big and when it starts to trend. And that was really trending yesterday. I think Eubank versus Brooke would do maybe 350 to 400,000. So I don't think Brooke's going to get the same amount of money, but it still is a big fight. And I wonder, maybe he might even be the A side in that. I think he probably will be the A side as well. So he might get the lion's share of that, which will be interesting. Thomas says, do you think the result would have been the same if the fight took place 10 years ago? Now, you guys know my thoughts around this. My thoughts has always been that I thought Kell, if you've watched my videos, you'll know I'm always been that Kell would have beaten Amir. Some people say Amir would have been too fast and his feet would have been a lot faster and maybe his punches would have been a bit sharper. But I've always said that all it takes with Amir, unfortunately, is if you land one clean, you've got a good chance. And I've always thought that Kell would have got to him. And I always thought that Khan's punches wouldn't have been powerful enough to keep Brooke off. Like, you need to deter Brooke. Like Golovkin, Spence, you've got to hurt him. And I just don't think that Khan would have been able to do that. Plus, again, rewind 10 years, there is no orbital bone issue for Kell. He's as fresh as a daisy. He's unbeaten and he's big and strong at the weight. So I do think I'm always rolling with Kell. I think Kell would have done him. But that's just my own opinion. I can understand if someone feels a bit different. Super chat's just come in from Finbar White. Says, Eden Nade, glad you survived in the wind, just about. What they did to Kell before the fight was wrong. Must say the undercard wasn't great. No, the undercard was awful. Like, it was, isn't it? Let's call a spade a spade. The undercard wasn't great. But I guess the undercard, I think Sonny Edwards tweeted it, like the undercard looked like it cost about 30 grand. No disrespect to some of those fighters on there, because they're very good in their own right. Fraser Clark, fantastic. Tasha Jonas, world titleist, world champion, fantastic. The Azim brothers, but it was poor. All the money was clearly given to the guys in the main event, and rightly so. Maybe they deserved it after their long career. If you're an undercard fighter, I mean, the want and the hunger should be to get where Khan and Brooke have got. That should be the excitement. Have I read this one? I don't know. Ethan Ade, this is from Kyle Burrows. Says, Ethan Ade, I hope you're well. Your commentary for the fights on your watch long are great. I prefer it to most actual commentators. Hopefully one day you'll be on the big platforms yourself, bro. I like this. I like the stuff I do with the Zone. In terms of a commentator, we've got Chris Lloyd's a great commentator. By the way, Adam Smith yesterday I thought was fantastic. Andy Clark's another good one. He was on TalkSport yesterday. So there's some good commentators out there. Sporty Sports says speed and reflexes are the first to go. Timing and power are the last. Yeah. And Amir Khan's, even not just his speed, but up here, his shot selection I thought wasn't great. So I didn't think he was really thinking about what he was doing. It was all rushed. Like, when you can just almost swarm your own work, like he's throwing 5s and 6. And another thing Amir Khan, I can tell, didn't expect was for Brook to be on him as much as Brook was from the first bell. Like, Amir Khan had to waste a lot of energy just keeping Brook at bay, like keeping Brook at arm's length. He was having to do a lot. And he was blowing a gasket from the first round. And then obviously at the end of the first round, he got caught, and that was that. Quick, few people saying hello. Big up Ade. Who says that? Pugnacious, that's a good name. Baz H in the building. Hello, Ade. Tyler G in the building saying evening, Ade. Evening, everyone. Evening, everyone. See, a lot of people saying, let's talk about this, the elephant in the room, the Sun article regarding Dillian White. Guys, it's not even that I'm avoiding it, because I'll speak about anything. I've not even seen it. Now, a few of you have clearly said that Eddie Hearn has offered Dillian White almost like, leave Tyson Fury, don't take the fight and sign with the Zone, and we'll give you Derek Chisora rematch and AJ fight. I mean, if I'm Dillian White, I'm sticking with what's on the table. Like, what? Fight AJ? He's not got a belt. Yes, it's a lot of money, but he's not got a belt. Derek Chisora, you've been chasing the world title. All this has been about the last 3 years with Dillian White. Has been this WBC. I want to fight for a title. It's there. It's there. Now, okay, sort out the split if that's what the holdup is, but don't walk away from that. You'll regret that for the rest of your life. To think that you had a chance to take out the best in the division right now, and you walk away from that for AJ and Chisora. Madness. No, that's crazy. Abu Hassan says, salute, Ade. Salute, brother. I missed one from Koshi. We'll go back very quickly. Koshi's in the building. So good evening, Ade. Good evening, Koshi. Usman Mahmood. I'm just going to quickly, I think it's polite to say hello to everyone in the chat. And then this one, Samuel Stallard. Keep it up, bro. Doing a great job. Thank you very, very much. Ade, salute. Jake Parsons says hi. Palestinian says, evening, Ade. I like your show. I like it as well. What's this one? Metalbox J says, has the Matchroom Canelo deal been announced? No, but I expect it will be. Although Canelo has been quite vocal on his own social media, saying, look, why is everyone talking about the fights? I've done nothing. I've signed nothing. Like, unless you hear it from me, forget all this thing. And I think he was referring to a Mike Coppinger tweet, which Mike Coppinger has actually now deleted. Like, why you keep on talking about things being signed when I've signed nothing? So we wait and see. Plus, we're hearing that Gennady Golovkin has not signed his part of the deal as well. Remember, he is part of that DAZN deal. So it's Bivol, then Golovkin. Golovkin hasn't signed. So we'll see. We'll see. A lot of people asking me about this. I don't know. Ade, have you heard anything about the Eddie Hearn offer to Dillian White? I need to find out about this and make a video about it. I have no idea about it. Look, Stephen, everyone's talking about it. Jeez. I have been missing. I don't know anything about this. Ben Frost says, I think Brook should sail into the sunset, to be honest. It's not going to get bigger than last night for him. And he's a British legend, apologies. Leave it, son. Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, it's not all about money, is it? Is it? Surely it's all about health, and that's the most important thing. And right now, he's got his faculties in play. They're fine. He's just beat his nemesis. It's not going to get better than that. Even if he were to fight Eubank Jr. and beat Eubank, that feeling he had last night is not going to get that same feeling for Eubank. He's not. And then if he beats Eubank, they're going to say one more. I'm with you. Stop. Eric Ciaz, yeah. I think Brook should stay around welter with Ben or Furman. No. If Brook's gonna fight again, then he certainly can't stay at welter. No chance. He's got to literally go up. Like, his next fight has to be 154 pounds. Has to be. If he's gonna continue fighting. I hope he doesn't. I really don't. Base the Kid. Wait, I just saw Base the Kid. Apologies. I've read that one already. Base the Kid, the hardcore casual. What up, Ade? What up, Bass? Good. What's up, brother? Have you been doing your videos? I feel like I'm checking you like a school teacher. Have you been putting in that work? Hope so. Hopefully you have, my man. Lee the Bald Guy says, after seeing him look so drained on the scales, how did Munguia look? I haven't seen the fight. Munguia obviously won because Munguia always wins, but I've not watched the fight. I'll watch it on my free DAZN app a bit later. All right, let's go back to the top. And where were we? This one. The number one says, Brook has been moving up and down in weight for people and kidding themselves. It's only fair for Khan Eubank to meet him at 150 and Eubank to meet him at 157. You know what I don't like about this, the number one? These weight classes that we're just making up. Like 150 and 157 are not weight classes. It's like, let's make a weight class because we want to see someone be healthy and somehow make a fight. And look, it's not, obviously, look, this isn't a Kell Brook thing. I mean, people have been making up weight classes for a reason, but boxing has so many weight classes. This isn't like bloody MMA. If you can't get in a weight class, you shouldn't be fighting in just this made up like 150. Like Brook today is, it's not that far off, but he's saying to Eubank Jr., I'll meet you at 155. 155 is not a weight class. Like 154 is the weight class. I guess he's trying to help Eubank out by the extra pound, but just stick to the weight classes that are there. They're there for a reason. What else have we got? Robski says, hi, Ade. If the motivated and spiteful Brook from yesterday with Ingle in his corner faced Crawford, how different does that result look? None. Doesn't look different at all. Again, guys, he fought Amir Khan. And I hate to sound rude when I say this. This is the problem. And this is what I feared was going to happen. Like when people were talking about him fighting X, Y, and Z. Yesterday, he fought someone that hadn't fought for 30 months. And before that person fought, he fought a guy called Billy Dibb. And before then, that guy quit against Terence Crawford. This is who he's fighting. Before then, he fought Phil LaGreco. Before then, it was Samuel Vargas or that whatever order it was. That Amir Khan he fought yesterday wouldn't even lace up one glove of the Amir Khan of 2013-14, let alone the Amir Khan of 2010. So we've got to be very careful when we think about, yes, Brook looked good and Brook looked great. He was fighting a nobody yesterday. A nobody. That Amir Khan yesterday was only Amir Khan by name, because it certainly wasn't the Amir Khan that I remember watching. So we got to be a bit careful. J-Star8575 Smith, who was definitely in the live yesterday, because I remember reading that long ass name, says Eubank ain't coming down to 154. He did mention 158. However, he said that Kell came up to 160 when he fought Golovkin. Here we go. Let's see what happens. Christopher B. Rose said, love what you do, Ade. Any advice for how to grow your boxing channel? Just videos. It sounds a bit basic, and sorry to be basic, but you've just got to do video after video after video. Like I remember when I first started, I was doing sometimes 2 or 3 videos a day. Yes, they were short videos, but 2 or 3 videos a day. You've got to chuck out content. And you've got to be consistent with your content as well. And people will come. I mean, there's a few guys on here now that are really doing it. Obviously, G-Man's grown his channel to an extent. I think G-Man's got over 6,000 subs. Base the Kid has started. He's been putting some work in as well. You got Punch Perfect Boxing. All these people do video after video after video. You've got to jump on it. And the good thing about boxing at the moment, boxing gives you so many subjects to do videos about. It's easy, isn't it? Like right now, for example, if I was you, I'm doing a Dillian White fucking video right now. Like literally right now. Then an Amir Khan retirement video. What next for Kell video? What next for Amir? How good is Amir? Is Amir Britain's all? There's so many videos you can do. So yeah, just get on there and just put out the content. But you've also got to make sure, sorry, we're going to read out some more comments. You've also got to make sure that your sound is good. Where's that mic I use? Yeah, sorry, it's over there somewhere. Your sound is good and your camera quality is good. Obviously, I'm using a digital camera now, but normally I film with just my Samsung phone. So sound, mic. Oh, there's the mic. The mic's on the floor. Sound, mic, and content. That's the best advice I can give you, man. Best advice I can give you. Usman Mahmood says, Khan took the loss like a man, though extreme maturity. Yeah, very. But you know, it is yes and no. Khan took the loss like a man, but Khan also took the loss like someone that knew he was going to lose. And that's the only thing that's a bit soured for me. Khan went into that ring, I'm convinced of it, not believing he was going to win. He sold us. He done quite well, the behind the gloves and all the press conferences. Nah, I've watched Khan since the get-go. I guess I'm lucky to be at the age I am now, so I've seen him since he turned pro. And that was the one Khan fight where I've seen him walk to the ring and he didn't think he was going to win. So when you don't think you're going to win, you are going to take the loss like a man because you've almost prepared yourself for defeat anyway. That's what I thought. Could be wrong. That's what I thought. Alexander Wilson, Super Chat. Thank you very much, brother. Says Andre Ward, who was on the US broadcast and trained with Khan, said he had no boxing IQ and didn't give him one compliment during the fight. Jeez. I honestly, look, it wasn't the best. It wasn't the best from Khan. But look, I don't want to kick someone when they're down. It was still, it's just not the same Khan. I guess that's kind of all I can say. It's just not the same Amir Khan. What we got here? Baz H says, how do you feel about the Amir and Brook rematch clause? Could it happen? No, no chance. Absolutely no chance. Base 2060 says, big up Ade, my Niger brother. Look at this. Ogbae Baba. Proper Nigerian, that, isn't it? Jamie Fisher says, does Avanesian beat Ben? Not for me. Not for me. I know people are like, oh, he knows this and he's that. Not for me. I think this is a good time to fight Avanesian. By the way, have you seen Avanesian's next opponent? Like, as much as Avanesian's calling out this, have you seen the guy he's fighting? It's a disgrace. Go and look at his record. Just go. I'm not going to even do it now. Just go to BoxRec and look at who Avanesian's fighting next. The European champion. Not great. John Ketley says, Kell deserves a couple of easy big money fights if possible to end a great career. Keep up the great work, Ade. Love the pod. Thank you, John. I don't know who the big sort of easy big money fights are though. Like, who's an easy big money fight at 154, or maybe, as people have been talking about, catch weights 152? There are no, there's not even that many big fights for Kell. You know, one I was thinking about at 150, and I hate to do this because I just dissed someone for talking catch weights. Keith Thurman. I wouldn't mind seeing Keith Thurman versus Kell Brook at 150. I didn't think Keith Thurman looked great against Barrios. I wouldn't mind that. There was a time when I thought that would have been a really good 147-pound fight. There was a time when I thought Kell was at least number 3, maybe number 4, and Thurman was number 1, and it was a good fight then. Who knows now? Who knows? It could be a good one. A super chat has just come in. Let me quickly read the super, and then we'll get back to loads of comments, by the way. Jesus Christ, loads. Koyoshi, £5 soup. Thank you very much. Says, it looks like Lomachenko may fight Kambosos next. Would you prefer Kambosos to fight Haney or Loma next? Negotiations have been chaotic. They have been chaotic, and they're going to be. It's a big fight. I want Lomachenko versus Kambosos, just because I think Lomachenko is the best 135-pounder on the planet. I think he'll go to Australia and take those belts from Kambosos. You know what it is? And I think I said this on a video I did. I do so many videos, I forget where I am sometimes. But I think I said this 3 or 4 days ago, that Devin Haney versus Kambosos, yes, it's an undisputed fight, and I get it, all the belts on the table. But I would never been able to say the winner of that fight was the number 1 in the division. And that's what an undisputed means. I would never have said that because Gervonta Davis is around and Loma's around. So for me, I want to see Loma go and get those belts, and then whoever wants to come and get them can get them. And it looks like Loma's taking less money to make the fight happen as well. So look, we'll see. I mean, Eddie's got an issue with Haney because Haney's got to be fighting some good fights right now. And if it's not the Kambosos fight for Haney, what's it going to be next? Really don't know. I really have no idea what it's going to be. So I think there's a bit of an issue with Haney. It might be a bit like the Demetrius Andrade sit where you've got a belt, but you can't get a fight. Can't get a fight. All right, where were we? Where was I? I read that one. I read that. Base to casual, red base. Read that one. All right, here we go. Start from here again. HBU says, I think Khan's heart kept him up. Yeah, heart, but I also think that Kell didn't land clean. I thought Kell should have gone to the body. I think Khan would have been stopped. But regardless, he lost in it. He lost quite convincingly as well. I don't even think I even saw a scratch on Kell's face. Like nothing made me look like Kell actually had a fight. It was really very, very one-sided. It really was. John Cahill says, and I echo this, hope Kell just ignores Eubank. He's been a world champ and beating his rival, two things Junior has never done. Ooh. It's true though, isn't it? So true. You forget, with all the talk, Chris Eubank Jr. has never been a world champion. Obviously, unless, I don't know if you count the IBO, but I don't really count it. It's not a major belt. Never been a world champion. Never. It's interesting. Darren D says, I think Khan took the power, as I'm not convinced Brook was loading up, as he was wary of gassing. Either way, thank God Brook won. Good point there. Maybe there was a bit of Brook not fully loaded up. Brook definitely came out like a steam train in round 6. So there's 2 times where Brook really went for it. The end of round 1 when he wobbled Khan, and he went for it then because it would have been a first round stoppage, and that would have been a massive statement. And definitely at the start of round 6, which obviously ended the fight. He came out then. But you're right. I don't think he was really putting full velocity into it. I don't think so. What's this one? Tony Issue says, Adi, I have so much respect for you, but maybe it paymasters, Talk Sport, Hearn, and DAZN are influencing me to do what? Wait 1 second. I'm gonna respond to this. I wouldn't normally, but I'm gonna respond. So wait, someone just said on here that what did someone just say again? Someone just said that Eddie is gonna try and offer Dillian White a deal to go on DAZN and fight AJ and Derek Chisora. I just said, no way, if I'm Dillian White, he should go and fight Tyson Fury. But yet my paymasters are influencing me. Don't you think if my paymasters are influencing me, I would say, yeah, no. He should definitely go to DAZN and fight AJ and Chisora. Come on, Tony, sort it out, brother. Sort it out, mate. The number 1 says, was listening to your live last night while walking to the pub to watch the fight. It was getting me gassed. Appreciate that. Base the Kid, the hardcore casual, says Bomac was telling Khan he was winning in the corner. Mad. Some of these loud American trainers, look, respect Bomac, because Terence Crawford's my favorite fighter, but actually Terence Crawford and Loma, it's close. But some of these loud American trainers are just loud and like bombastic for no reason. Winning the fight. Come on, man. Come on. Deepak Singh says, I think even Crawford knew Khan was up against it. He couldn't even openly support him in interviews, saying, it's not about me. Yeah. Because again, going back to that statement, look, and maybe I could be wrong here, but watching that fight yesterday, there's no way that they didn't see a lot of mistakes from Khan in sparring, just in camp. There's no way Khan didn't get hurt in sparring. There's no way. Like literally watching that fight, there was nothing left of Khan yesterday against Brook. Nothing. And for me, he must have been hurt. But you've got to play. Khan's a smart guy. You got to play the game, and they played the game well. A lot of people would have bought that pay-per-view. A lot of people would have made a lot of money, including Bomac. So everyone was in on the game here. But for me, Khan was walking to the ring knowing he was a beaten man. That's what I saw. Could be wrong. Fahazan Reyes says, Ade, who is the A side, Eubank or Kell? If that fight's made, I believe Eubank is because of the activity and the great viewing figures recently on Sky, and he's starting to become the main. Nah. There's no way Eubank's the A side of that. I mean, Eubank had to go to someone's backyard to make a fight happen in Liam Williams. Eubank's just not. I don't think Eubank's the draw that I would like to think he is. And those viewing figures you're referring to are obviously on a Sky platform. This was on pay-per-view and it's done crazy numbers. Just look at the build-up for this. It's been incredible. I think Brook's definitely the A side in this. I really do. It's close, but I think Brook edges it. A concrete call out says, yes, Ade, peace and love, mate. Kell would give Chris big problems. Yeah, I see that. I see it. I mean, I don't look at Eubank as the biggest 160. I really don't. I don't look at him as the strongest 160 either. And look, we know his boxing ability is a bit sus. So Kell would cause him some problems, but ultimately, you expect Eubank to get to him because Eubank's just the fresher of the two as well, and the naturally biggest guy. Karma here talking about what Base said, that in reference to Bomac telling Khan he was ahead. That was awful corner work, and Khan was not following instructions. What's this one? Darren D says, glad Brook was gracious in victory. Not sure Khan would have been if he had won. I think Khan would have. I've seen Khan win or lose in fights, and he is quite gracious. I think the only fight where I feel like Khan has maybe not been gracious was the Lamont Peterson one, because do you remember that fight when they had like the dodgy judges ringside? I think that's the only one where I've seen Khan really get upset. Apart from that, Khan is quite gracious, win or lose. Um, what's this one? Just quickly, thanks for the commentary. Ade was great. Thank you, man. Thank you. Jay says, I feel like it would have affected Kell more if he lost. Khan won't let it get to him too much. You can tell he'll be at peace. Yeah, Khan looked at peace. Even in sort of the interviews after, he looked at peace. This ain't going to worry Khan too much. For Khan, this was a cash grab, and he grabbed all that cash. He did, didn't he, though? This was a cash grab. Like, it's almost a bit, and I mentioned this yesterday, it's a bit David Hay-ish. Like, David Hay knew that his body was falling apart when he made those Tony Bellew fights. He knew. That's why David Hay can live with it. David Hay's cool right now. It's not like David Hay's in hiding. He's cool. Cash grab. Give me that money. He knew that his body wasn't there. Smart. Off the canvas boxing, even that, I hope you're amazing. I like that. I am amazing. Thank you, bro. It's nice of you. Ouch, please, no. What was with all the celebs last night? I know it was a big fight, but I can't imagine Cavani has been hanging out for Khan Brook for a decade. Do Sky or Boxer give tickets away to Prem teams? You're going to give comps to the Premier League players? Yes, absolutely. Like, none of those Premier League players would pay, but that's just the same everywhere. No stars paying for tickets. You want them there. Just makes your event look a lot better. Cavani was there because Numas, who fought Tasha Jonas, I believe, I stand to be corrected, but she's from Uruguay, and he was there to support her. I think he knows her, so he was there to support her. But sometimes people just want to go out for a night of boxing. By the way, did you see that thing with Phil Foden backstage, and Phil Foden's mum getting cracked? You can't hit a lady like that. I hope that guy gets it. I really do. Yes, she came out of a bit of, energy and a bit of anger, but you can't do that. And for Phil Foden, I mean, geez, like, to see your mum get hit like that, and he was right there in the corridor as well. Like, what? Hope that guy got arrested. I really do. John Cahill says, I got goosebumps when Kell's ring walk started. He deserves that ending so much, man. Let's hope it's the ending. That's the thing, John. Let's hope it's the ending, because I think Kell's going to fight Chris Eubank Jr., but I'm with you. I hope it's the ending. I really do. What's this one? Stephen Ford says, I read earlier, can't actually remember the sparring sessions with Kell. Said it did make a good storyline, though. That's what I'm trying to say. It was all just... And look, Khan said this. Khan said this in the post-fight press conference, that he can't... Remember, all the talk was about Khan saying he schooled Kell in sparring, and Kell getting angry, like, what? Khan in the press conference or the post-fight said, Khan, I actually can't... Sorry, Kell, I don't actually remember the sparring sessions. It was all part of it. It was everything. Khan knew what he was doing. Khan's very good at it. Very good at it. Nearly got me. And then I made a video saying, now fuck it, I'm rolling with Kell. Nearly got me, though. You nearly had me. Just not good enough. Alex Chavez, cheers, Ade. Shout out from Yuma, Arizona, USA. Alex, really appreciate you coming in to the live yesterday. Thank you, my brother. Loads of guys, so many questions are coming through. We're going to try and get through as many as possible. I'm not even halfway through the questions. Amari J Gaming, is that right? Or Amari J? Even Ade, my dad let me stay up to watch with him to watch it. I said Kell within 6, and Dad had Khan. Hopefully, your dad treated you to a nice meal. I'm about to say nice meal and a drink, but you sound like you're young. Nice meal, because you got it right. HK said, did Khan break his hand? Seems after the reps came off, he wasn't using his right hand to shake hands, etc. I saw that. Might have just been bruised. Could have just been bruised. I don't know if it was broken. IA, Brook for the first time in his career has got options. How strange. How weird is that? Like, Brook in his peak had options, but these were fights that almost couldn't be made. Brook near the end now has Eubank Jr., big fight pay-per-view, Conor Ben. I'm not quite sure. I mean, I say that he won't work with the zone. If the check's right, he'll go over to the zone and do a fight deal. Ah, Jesus Christ. Daniel White says, I really wish Eubank and Ben would focus on their own careers and call out relevant contenders. Both look desperate trying to take Brook's scalp. There is a bit of that. There is. I'm not as upset with Conor Benn for doing it. I mean, Conor Benn is in and around that weight division. It's a big domestic fight. We've kind of seen these fights happen before. I'm a bit more peed off with Eubank doing it. I understand why he's doing it, because it's a money fight, and it's all about making that money. It's all about making that moolah. But yeah, look, I want Eubank to focus on the 160 guys. It's not like there's not a lot of 160 guys, and for Ben, obviously focus on what he's got coming up as well. I think he's fighting again in April. Should have been Morris Hooker. It won't be. I think it's going to be Van Heerden. So look, we'll see what Ben's going to do as well. Dan C says, top boy Ade, Brooks should take Froch's advice and retire on a great win and great night. He should. Even though for Froch it wasn't easy. Like, even though Froch retired after the Groves fight, there was a lot of talk, and it was very, very close to happening. Froch versus Julio Cesar Chavez in America. So as much as Froch is saying, I did it, I retired, he only retired because that fight couldn't be made. If the Julio Cesar Chavez fight would have been made, he would have taken it. He would have 100% have taken it, because he always wanted that big fight, real big fight in America. So easy to say, not easy to do. Super chat here from Sharon Leach, just sending out money. Sharon got money, yeah? No, not even a question, just sending out the money. Another super chat here says, D115X says, Kell got in, got rich, and it's time now to get out. Yeah, you know my saying. That is 100% mine. I don't want anyone to say that's someone else's. That is my saying. Get in, get rich, get out. I might have to do some t-shirts with that or something. CRB says, Bud's 34 and still elite. Khan 35 and past it. Khan Kell 35 and past it. It's not that age. It's not living the life and inactivity as older fighters, which ages you 10 times 10. Yeah, they don't live the life. They don't live life. But in saying that, Bud's not had a 17-year career. When was Bud's first fight? Quickly check this. 1 second. Kell's first fight was 2004. Amir's was 2005. So they've had longer careers, I think. Could be wrong. 2 seconds. I'm just going to go onto Box Rec quickly. Bud's first fight was 2008. So it's a 4-year difference between their careers. And I don't think Bud have had might have had more amateur fights. I don't think he's had more amateur fights than both of them either. So they just had longer careers, I think, than Bud. But I do think there is a lot in it. And I agree with you for once that the living the life thing counts for a lot. Counts for a hell of a lot. All right, let's get back to look at this one. Ade, give me that Tyson photo. Sick in it. It is absolute. It's just, that is perfect, isn't it? Eh? Come on. And the way I've lit it up with the lamp. Boy, oh boy. Sharon Leach says, Khan said he wants to now spend time with his young kids and family. Same with Brooks. That deserves gold for me every day. Yeah, I saw that statement from Khan. He didn't say, I'm done though. I need to hear that. Like, I want to call it quits. Maybe it is a case of you can't shove a mic in someone's face immediately after a fight and expect to get everything. So maybe it's a case of he does sit down and he'll probably write a statement or get someone to write a statement and announce it that way. But yeah, I hope when he does call it quits, I hope he gets his flowers. I really hope that people are like, wow, what a career. Because it has been a really good career. And what Khan's done for Asian boxers in this country as well is massive. Not just for Asian boxers, but Asian sports people in general. Like, Khan's done a lot, man. He really has. He really, really has. 786 NAF says, I think Khan should defo retire and Brooks should have one more later this year, as last night was a tune-up for him. He should either fight Eubank Jr. at 155 or Ben at 150. The only thing I will say in support of that, although I don't want to see Brook fight again, when I think of a Carl Froch, George Groves, like Carl Froch was getting pieced up in that fight, you know. He was getting pieced up in that fight against George Groves. Like Kell Brook didn't get touched by Amir Khan. Like didn't nothing really, is it? Like really nothing. So I like there might be just a bit more, but I don't know, man. I don't know. MJ says the can man can't find a pen. Dillian radio silent white. He's gone. He has gone silent. He's gone silent. He's gonna talk soon, but he has gone silent. This is a very, very good question, and I'm not quite sure what the answer is here. Daniel White says, what do you think Kell weighed in the ring? He looked like a beast. He did look massive, didn't he? He looked really strong in there as well, like still ripped, but strong. I would say he probably came in around the 170 mark, maybe even just slightly over. I'd like to find out, actually. But I think he came in really, really heavy. Like, Khan just looked skinny compared to him, didn't he? Craig Connell says, Amir just simply cannot deal with punches. Simple as that. Prescott, Garcia, Canelo, Crawford, and Brook, plus Maidana, who beat him up in one round, and you could argue could have been stopped. You know, sometimes it might just come down to that. Sometimes, and that statement's probably true. Like, he probably just can't deal with punches. Like, once he gets hits on the whiskers, that's kind of it. And even if you're a hardcore Khan fan, I think you can admit that as well. Now, once he gets hit, even some fights that he's won like early in his career, like very early, if you go and watch the tapes, I think there's a video that's been doing the rounds of Khan getting wobbled and hurt early in his career. So I'm not talking, you know, fighting for, you know, British title. No, I'm talking of just in his like 5-0 fight, 6-0 fight, he's getting wobbled. He can't take a punch like that. Anthony Vander says, with all due respect, can't Eubank fight a top fighter in his own weight class? Brook and Khan did it over the years. Yeah, Eubank's a strange one, man. He really is, Eubank. I can't work him out. As much as I scream that he should be doing it, like, even if Eubank were to fight some of the best in the division, he'll lose. He'll lose. Eubank's good, but I don't look at Eubank as being a world level 160 pounder. And maybe he knows that. Maybe his team know that. You know, as much as we like to think Eubank's a stubborn man, he's a smart guy as well. Maybe he looks at it and assesses it all. Like, I don't think Eubank could beat Charlo. I don't think Eubank could beat Demetrius Andrade. I really don't. I don't think Eubank even now can beat Gennady Golovkin. I don't think he can beat any of those guys. So maybe he looks at it and thinks, fuck it. Let me just give me the money. And this is what this sport's all about, right? Making some money. And I'll fight Kell Brook. Maybe that's how he looks at it. Don't know. Okay, I like this one. I like one of them. Soldier Boy says Jamel Charlo or Liam Smith could be good fights for Brook if he carries on. I don't like the Jamel Charlo fight. I think he'll beat Kell Brook, and I think it could be punishing. Liam Smith's an interesting one. Liam Smith's got Jesse Vargas on the undercard of Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor. That'll be a decent fight over here. They've sparred. They've spoken about this fight before. Liam Smith looked good against Anthony Fowler, got the job done. That could happen. I don't mind that. I don't know if it's a big... Eubank Jr. is a much bigger money fight than Liam Smith. I'll tell you that now. Much. So if you're going to go for one, you're going to maybe risk going up a couple more pounds and taking on Eubank Jr., if I'm honest with you. All right, guys, we have 7 minutes left. An hour we're doing today. What's this one? Boxing Pound for Pound Jack says, I'm sorry, Ade, but Chris Lloyd has a monotone voice which makes the commentary quite boring. I think he's good. I think Chris is good. I will say that I don't actually listen to the commentary because I'm doing my own bits, but I think he's good. Very, very well researched. But I guess we all have our own different things, don't we? Eddie Rose says, has Rob left Boxing Social? No. Although I did actually message Rob. Like, Rob, where the fuck are you? Like, we've not seen you for ages. Like, what's going on? Where are you? But Rob's there. I think he's just having a little break. He needs a break. He works actually far too hard. Sorry. You guys tell me about this. Usman Mahmoud says, is there a live for Josh Taylor fight next week? I think he should have won more. I think he should have one more against Zepeda, then move up to 147. I don't know if anyone's interested in the live. Like, I gauge it by the interest, and I'll wait and see during the week if there's interest by social media and the buzz. If there isn't, I'll just watch it myself. And, you know, yeah. Oh, this is a disgrace. This is a disgrace. SS14 says Fraser Clark's opponent was embarrassing. The fight was a real sorry sight to watch. That guy is a white collar fighter, who I think was going to turn pro. And his manager, again, I don't know if this story is 100% true, but this is what I've heard. He was at the fight. He said, asked if his manager could get him tickets. His manager said, no, I can do one better than that. Do you want to fight? And he fought Fraser Clark. If that story's true, and it sounds almost too ridiculous to be true, the British Boxing Board of Control should be embarrassed. But they won't be, because that's the British Boxing Board of Control. W Thornton says, hey, Ade, any fights in the crowd last night? Not including Foden's mum. So many fights. So many fights. It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. It's ridiculous. BG London says, how rude of me, leaving comments without saying hello. Exactly. Very rude of yourself. But hello, BG London. Nice to have you in here. Matt says, Hearn seems to be so against the fans at the moment, delivering nothing. Ooh, steady on. You know what it is? I think we sometimes forget, like again, it depends how big a boxing fan you are. But I mean, I think Lee Wood versus Michael Conlan's a fantastic scrap. Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor. I don't know how much you guys will be interested. I am in Josh Warrington versus Kiko Martinez. I think I know what you're doing. Obviously, you're looking at Khan Brook and you're thinking, oh my God, Sky delivering. Eddie's delivered. Come on, Eddie's don't be like that. There seems to be this weird thing with Eddie where fans either like him or absolutely detest him. But I think, Eddie, knowing him how I do now, would have watched yesterday, even though he said he didn't, and it's going to fucking make him go. That's going to motivate him to like, okay, all right, 1 second. he'll try his hardest. But look, I think he also thought, by the way, that Sky, like most of us did, were done. I thought Sky were done. And all of a sudden, Sky, like, we got some energy left. But Sky have been fantastic. But no, Eddie will come back and do well. Mr. S says, do you think the Jonas stoppage was premature? Not just premature, but I thought the whole thing was a bit embarrassing. If I'm honest with you, look, I'm a big supporter of female boxing, but yesterday doesn't help, does it? So you got Tasha Jonas fighting that girl that came in on late replacement, jumping up 3 weight classes and bombing her out in 2 rounds for a world title. Doesn't help. Doesn't help at all. Base the Kid, the hardcore casual says, are you working the event next Sunday? Yes, I am hosting next Sunday. So I am in the hot seat, me, Tony Bellew, and a special guest. So I am doing the main presenting next Sunday. Fingers crossed it still happens. I'm sure it is. Obviously, there's no roof on the O2 right now. So I'm not quite sure what's going on. But yep, my agent has just confirmed with me that I am hosting. I was going to be doing some stuff at Wembley for the League Cup final between Liverpool and Chelsea. I'm a big Liverpool fan, but I've chosen this instead because I feel like I want to do more of these hosting just to get better and better at it. So yeah, I am hosting on Sunday, so it should be fun. I'm guessing you're going to be there, Base. Let me know. What's this one? Frederick says, hey, Ade, the commentary was really cool. I'm kind of getting used to listening to you while watching fights and silent. Man, I appreciate that. I really do. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. I'm just going to quickly run through as many as possible now. Amandeep Jahal says, Bivol would be the last Canelo fight since GGG where he's the underdog. No, Canelo is not the underdog against Bivol. He's not. He's not. He's not at all. He's not at all. Useful idiots. Ade, have you heard about the Eddie Hearn dilemma? I can't wait to finish this and actually go and read this and phone a couple of people because everyone's talking about it now. So I'm guessing everyone's read exactly the same article in the Sun, but I have no idea what this is. A bit more. Even RS is here talking about it as well. The Sun reported that story about Eddie and White, and everyone laps it up. For fuck's sake, did the training half for this fight and will turn up at the weigh and end of. You know what makes? You know what it is, yeah. Of all the papers, I won't believe. Like I'm not a believer of tabloid news anyway. But the Sun is the last paper I will believe. The fucking last. Like I have no faith in anything that the Sun writes. So look, I'm not saying it's not true, but if everyone's like, saying it, 100% it's true based on what the Sun has said, then nah. Not at all. The Shining Examples is great channel, Eddie. Love the content. Thank you, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, oh, here we go. SK says, Eddie, don't worry. The article is clickbait. It says Eddie has offered White a backup plan. See? You got to read it a bit more in case the Fury fight falls through. See, now that makes a bit more sense. If I'm honest with you, it makes a bit more sense. No, I haven't. This is a good question because it's getting like, what's going on now? D115X says, Addy, have you heard anything on AJ versus Usyk 2? Nothing. Zero. I saw something the other day and someone was saying that AJ potentially could stick with Sky. He potentially could. I mean, I'm not quite sure what's going on. I do think we'll probably find out more this week. I think the last couple of weeks have been all Kell Brook, Amir Khan, Kell Brook, Amir Khan. So no one's really cared too much about the AJ Usyk. I think people now will be like, all right, what's going on? What's going on with Fury, White, and AJ Usyk? And I think we'll get some answers this week. I'm sure we will. BG London says that feeling after winning is addictive. Kell will be back. Yeah, I think for Kell to tweet out that Chris, if it's not 155, don't call me, don't message me. That means he's had time to sit down with the family, discuss it with his manager as well and his team. And for you to say 155, what if Eubank comes back? So Eubank will come back. I'll tell you how it's going to play out. Eubank will come back and he'll speak to his team and he'll be like, tell him 158. I'm telling you now. And then Brooke will say, all right, we get it done at 157. Deal. It's going to happen. I'd be very, very shocked if it doesn't happen. Very, very shocked. What's this one? Sharon Leach says, Noel Gallagher, both interviews on IFL TV, quote, expert said, and his prediction of Khan wins was off. Go figure. Go figure indeed. What's this? Molly Mae Smith. Like the live people, let's support Ade. Over 500 watching this right now. Let's like. Oh, that's nice of you, Molly Mae. That's very nice. Go, like. Do what Molly Mae says. Like. I don't say enough of that. I think I need to say like. And if you're new, subscribe. You know, we're very close. We're trying to get to 30,000, yeah, before March 25th. That's my birthday. Can you believe I turned 41 March 25th? What the fuck? Thank God I don't look 40. Well, I don't think. We're on 29,131 subs. We might do it. We might do it. All right, what's this one? Who's this from? Sporty Sports says Munguia versus Eubank at 160. Who takes it? Could happen for a vacant belt of Gennady Golovkin. Andre Charlo moved to 168. Violence. That is a violent fight, and I would favor the unbeaten Munguia. 39 fights. I think it's something like 30 KOs and only 25. He's only 25 years of age, so he's the fresher of the two as well. It's good. Like, it's a great fight because as much as I sometimes have a dig at Chris Eubank, he's tough, man. Eubank's a tough. He's definitely got his dad's chin, his dad's DNA. But I'd have to favor Munguia. But that fight had never happening. Never happening. Another one here saying Charlie Carpenter, has Rob Tebbett left Boxing Social? No, certainly hasn't. Boots and Gloves TV, I like that name, says Khan was always an easy fight for Kell. Even Hunter said that to Johnny Nelson 10 years ago. Yeah, I always said it, but at the same time, I can appreciate that I'm saying it from a very biased standpoint, but I always said it as well. Hassan Ahmed says, Adi, how far do you think Adam Azim can go? I'm not quite convinced. Reminds me of Ryan Garcia, but slower. Yeah, definitely slower than Ryan Garcia. By the way, Adam Azim was the first brother to fight yesterday who done the backflip in the ring. I'm not sure. Like, I like to stay away from predictions like this until they've had like 12, 13, 14 fights, because right now they're in front of guys that they're supposed to beat and supposed to look good at. And so I always find it difficult to make a judgment when they're in there against people that they're supposed to just smoke. So I'd rather see him against someone of note first before passing judgment. Team Batman Boxing says great performance from Brook, easy money in the stoppage. Yeah, very easy. A lot of people asking it as Rob Tebbett retired. I mean, left Boxing Social. No, he honestly, well, I don't think he has. I'll say that now. Ra says Brook should try and get a 154-pound world title. My answer to that would be Ra. No chance. Absolutely no chance. What's this one? Josh Boy says, "Hey Ade, shout out from Jeonju, South Korea. Wow, my man. I missed the fight as I was mid-flight, but caught the highlights and not surprised how it turned out. Was way too late, and inactivity on Khan's part ruined it. Yeah, it would have been. Oh, it did. It would have been a much better fight if it was 3, 4 years ago. Even when they both still were past the best, it still would have been a good fight. Way too long for it to happen. But look, it is what it is." TMC. Guys, I said 1 hour. Fuck it. Let's go another 5 minutes. Let's go another 5 minutes. Fuck it. What am I doing? It's windy outside. I'm going home. Nothing to do at home anyway. Apart from sleep. TMC says, "You're correct. It's not the Khan we know, and he was a bit out of his depth. But Khan put British boxing back on the map when we had no superstars." Fact. I'm actually trying to think of who actually even. No, actually, I will say at the time of him putting British box on the map, Ricky Hatton was around, and Ricky Hatton was definitely a big, huge superstar. But Khan definitely kind of then took that baton from Ricky Hatton and, you know, grew the sport, like took it to a wider casual fan base as well. And I think, and I keep mentioning this about the Asians because Khan brought a lot of Asian, like you speak to a lot of Asian boxing fans who are around my age, maybe a bit younger. They will always reference Amir Khan. Some will reference Prince Nassim Hamed as well, but a lot will reference Amir Khan as the reason they got into boxing. So Khan done a lot for British boxing, and then he had those big fights in America. Khan won. Now, when you think of boxing, and you think of sort of winners and losers from boxing, Khan's a winner. Like, junior world champion as an amateur Olympic silver medalist. We all know that story. I remember him getting out of Athens and getting that Reebok sponsor early. Do you remember that? And then, he got beat by Bradis Prescott. And then it was a case of, okay, 1 second, let me go to America. And then he was in camp with Freddie Roach and Manny Pacquiao. And then he got those wins at 140 pounds against the likes of Paulie and Zab Judah. And then he had the little hiccup again against Danny Garcia and Lamont Peterson, built himself up again, and then beat the likes of Devin Alexander and Louis Collazo, and was that close. Should have got the Floyd Mayweather fight. Man, as much as I'm a Brook fan, my respect for Khan is big. It really is. I think Khan has done some fantastic stuff. He really has. All right. Anything else before we pack up? I've actually got to do a video right now about Amir Khan. I'm going to quickly do it after this because, yeah, I will, because the time 9 o'clock. I'll do it after this. What's this one? Eddie Laronin says, "Ade from Toronto, Canada. Keep up the good work. You think Lemieux got a chance to keep it competitive versus Benavidez?" Lemieux can crack. We know that, but he's slowed a lot, hasn't he? David Lemieux is slowed. You know what fight took it out of him? The Gennady Golovkin fight took it out of him. Don't get me wrong, a couple of good wins after that. Like I even expected Rosado to beat him, if I'm honest with you, and he dealt with Rosado, but Benavidez big. Benavidez very big, very strong, very fresh, and very long and rangy. I expect Benavidez to get the job done, but Benavidez will be aware of Lemieux's power. Lemieux could end it, but if anyone's going to get the knockout or the stoppage, I think it will be Benavidez. Benavidez is literally on a collision course right now with Canelo. They are literally just. If Benavidez don't fight Canelo in 2023, I'll be very, very. I don't think he's going to fight him this year. 2023, I expect him to fight Canelo in that, was it Azteca Stadium in Mexico? And I think it's going to be one of the biggest fights that Mexico has ever seen. I really do. Sorry, I think I spoke a bit too much there, didn't I? Yeah, do that, like and subscribe. Dark Side Rum Punch said Bomac had his bag ready to leave at the post-fight interview. He was there for the dollars. Of course he was. I remember when Khan fought Crawford. I remember what Bomac was saying about Khan then. Like, he's a quitter, he's easy, he's this, he's that. And all of a sudden, you're working with him. It's a bit weird, that, for me. Bomac was definitely there for the money, man. I mean, look, most Most corner people are, right? This is how it is, especially if you don't have a relationship with them. I mean, you're there, you're going to pay them. They're there to do a job to get you in the best possible shape. It's a transaction. I'm helping you get in the best possible shape. You pay me. Doesn't mean there's going to be a relationship there, and I don't think there is. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if they don't really speak after. I wouldn't be shocked if everyone just goes their own way and, they've made some money. They came to the UK. They enjoyed themselves. Terence Crawford made some connections. I'm sure Terence Crawford spoke to Sky Sports and Boxer, and that's it. It's done. That's it. Done. All right, guys, I really have to go now. Wait, actually, let me see if there's a couple more that I can quickly read. So many come in, man. I do apologize that I can't read them all. I do apologize. We actually read out hundreds, it's just not enough. Khan took the payday. He was an amazing fighter, but his glass chin was his downfall. Props to him getting to such a high level. Yeah. Because even if Khan does have that problem of, where he can't take punches like the way like most can, like most can absorb punishment. Like think of Golovkin and Carl Froch, granite chins, Canelo, another one. If Khan can't and he still got to where he's got to, then you've got to applaud him even more. Honestly, that adds to his legacies. It doesn't take away from it. Reese Cooper, sorry I'm late. Hope you're good. Kell surprised me just how good he was. Yeah, looked good. But again, look who he was fighting before we think he was that good. Look who he was fighting. Sorry, just charging my phone. What else have we got here? Two sex people. What's this one? Have I read this? Yeah, I read that. Kell got in. All right, guys, look, we got to go. I know there's 517 of you in there, but I'm actually a bit tired. It has been a long day. I wanted to do an hour. We've done an hour and 10 minutes. I do think, and this is me giving them a shout out here, I do think Stamina for Sale, so Tunde Ajayi and Spencer Fearon are doing their live right now. So all of you can go over there if you want to continue watching more boxing. I think they might have a special guest on as well. Someone just said they might have a special guest on their thing. So go over and check out who it is. But guys, thank you as always. Remember, as you're leaving, can you please hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and thank you as always for passing through. Peace and love.